Hey guys, this is Captain for reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review for September 6th, 2023. All right, thank you for all the new subscribers and the ones that have been sticking around. For those who are unfamiliar with this, what I do is I grab a batch of comics for the week, some Marvel, some DC, sometimes whatever, and I give you my review. You might hear some noises. That's my notes, because I old school and take some paper notes, but I also, besides giving a score of 0 through 10, 7 being average, I give a brief overview of the comics as well as give you another view with using League of Comics Geeks. I take what they report there and show you their views and their ratings, so that way you have another point of view too. So you might also have a different point of view. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments down below. So let's get started. The first one I want to talk about is Batman issue number 137. You know, I better get my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm getting old. Oh boy. Now this issue, I don't think I might be a little lower rating than the average. League of Comics Geeks said 207 out of 284 liked it with a 3.4 average rating, where I gave it a 6.9 out of 10. It says Batman / Catwoman, the Gotham War Part 2. Batman descends on Gotham City full of rage and force, more driven than ever to save his home. But the new landscape has turned friends into foes. Can someone stop his reign of terror? Should they? The Gotham War continues in the second chapter, written by Chip Zdarsky and artist George, whatever, I can butcher those names. Anyway, here's my thought. I'm not a fan of the storyline at all. I'm sorry, but the characterization is way off. This reminds me of Dan Slott's style of writing, where you have the big picture idea, but then you have to twist the characters around in order to support your story, instead of using the characters in their natural way to have them fit the story. For example, we have... Oh, here we go. Batman fights pretty much the whole Batman family and is able to get out of there. I don't buy that, first of all. Another thing there is where the characters stand. First of all, Jason Todd is against Batman in this. If anybody, you think Jason Todd would probably side with Batman in his views here. We have Tim Drake, which I think he's a more interesting character in this respect on how he would respond. I've read a lot of views. Some people think that he would definitely side with Batman. I think he more likely would, but considering he thinks Batman's going a little overboard, I think he might more sit on the fence and try to play peacekeeper here, and we don't have that as well. And we have a lot of mischaracterization here. The art's good though, and it almost, is it just me, or does it seem like Chip Zdarsky's going, I'm going to take my Batman idea, my Daredevil idea now, and throw it into Batman. But anyway, so I don't know. We'll see how the next issue goes, but definitely I didn't think it was good, that's for sure. And speaking of not good, the next issue I'm going to go with is DC's Birds of Prey number 1, where I gave it a different score. I gave it a 6, okay? But let me read what League of Comics Geek said. 291 out of 313 liked it with a 4.2 average rating, which was much higher than mine. Breaking hearts and faces, the Birds of Prey are back. Every mission matters. Every life saved is a miracle, but this time it's personal. Lionel Lance is one of the DCU's most elite fighters, which is true, and combined with her sonic scream, she's a fearsome foe in any scenario. And that's one of the problems I have with this issue. The art is okay at best. The coloring and shading is very amateurish. I don't care for it. If we're gonna have a good cast of characters, have them drawn and done right. The story so far, I will say, is off to a decent start, but the characterization is pathetic. I'm sorry, I know DC loves Harley Quinn, but there is no way, and I mean no way, she's going to fight Cassandra Cain to a standstill. I know the whole point is to show that she's unpredictable, and she brings that element to the story, and Kelly Thompson writes that into there. I get that, but I just don't buy it, and I don't think any readers that know the characters buy it either. The artist is Leonardo Romero, and the colorist is Jody Belair, or whatever. As I said, I think they fail in that regard. She's building this team up, and we don't have, well, I'm going to let you read it if you want, but I'm going to say it's, as I said, the story's off to an interesting start. We're going to, of course, get something with Babs going to probably show up eventually because they're keeping her out of the loop for some reason. We've got an interesting cast of characters, but once again, shoehorned Harley Quinn just because of her popularity. I don't get that. Boy, last week I didn't read any DC, so I doubled down and read a lot of DC this week. Oh, that might not have been a good decision because the next one I read was, oh boy, Fire and Ice. Welcome to Smallville. Number 1. 137 out of 151 liked it on League of Comics Geeks with a 3.9 average rating, and I gave it a 6.8. Here's my thoughts here. Well, actually, before I give you my thoughts, let me give you a little breakdown here. Things could not possibly be worse for Fire and Ice. Yeah, Superman sent the former Justice Leaguers packing for Smallville following an extremely public and utterly disastrous mission that was all Gary Gardner's fault, supposedly, in their view anyway, and in doing so doomed them to a fate worse than death, irrelevance. So anyway, they're here in Smallville and their story is going to continue from there. The writers Joanne Starr, artist Natasha Bustos, colorist Tamara Bonvillain. And here's the thing, once the art is not good, again, crap art. I'm sorry, it's just not good, especially when you got two great characters from former Justice League books like this that deserve some spotlight and they get treated terrible. The story is absolutely silly. I'm gonna go easy on it though for this reason. I know you're saying you gave it a 6.8 is what I gave it, and going easy on it because I'm clearly not the target market for this. I mean, this is definitely for a younger group, I would think, of females, but even then I have to ask, who is it really for? Are you sure it's for them? Because I don't think it reads in a way that they would like it as well. There is some alternate covers for this, which are better than the main cover. I will say that for sure. But as I said, I can't get into this book. I don't see myself continuing reading any from this series. Maybe I'm wrong. If I have any female viewers here, are you going to continue reading it, or have you? Do you like it? I'd like to know. My next one's another DC book, and that's The Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue number 10. 45 out of 49 liked it on League of Comics Geeks with a 3.9 average rating. I gave it a 7.4. What are dark red and not safe for anyone? The streets of Gotham as the battle of the Jokers begins. The good news for the part of Gotham is that someone is going to finally put an end to the Joker's reign of terror. The bad news is that person will also be the Joker. Writer Matthew Rosenberg, artist Carmine D. Sorry, dude, I butchered it. Anyway, I think it's a good story, decent art. The story is coming to an interesting third act. If you haven't been getting this, you might enjoy it. I don't care for the side stories afterwards very much, but I will say the main story has been keeping me entertained. This next one is an issue that I have been looking forward to. This series I've been enjoying, and that's Justice Society of America, number 6 of 12. I gave it a 7.3, 94 out of 106 liked it though on League of Comics Geeks with a 3.8 average rating, which is higher than I gave it. The Huntress and the JSA collide with Stargirl and the Lost Children. Yeah, so if you read that Lost Children miniseries, this directly ties in with that. Really cool, I might add. As this team, a new team, I should say, tries to find its footing, how will they handle coming face to face with a group of sidekicks they didn't even realize ever existed? And what does this mean for Jay Garrick as he meets his daughter, Judy, for the first time? Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and it's written by Jeff Johns, artist Marco Santucci, which again, I butcher names, I'm sorry. I really do like how they made this connection to the Stargirl miniseries. I think Stargirl deserves more attention, so that's great. It's interesting, though. We have a miniseries here that actually has more than one story to it. Usually you have one big story arc, right? I'm pretty sure this is still supposed to be a miniseries. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's number 6 of 12. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a miniseries, or did they decide to make it a full extended full-time series here? I'm wondering that. And if not, why not? I think if it's going to go strong, I hope it is, why not keep it going? So there we go. There's another one down. But you know what? I still have more DC. Big DC week. And I read Peacemaker Tries Hard, number 5. I know this one is sort of a hit and miss with some people. It's number 5 out of 6, I might say. I gave it a 7.5 though. 66 out of 66 liked it with a 4.5 average rating. So League of Comic Geeks fall right in line with me. What does the Brain's master plan have to do with the Red Bee? As it turns out, Richard's tragic past provides him with the strength strength his old bones need to defend Peacemaker and help him rescue Bruce Wayne. Yeah, Bruce Wayne the dog. This issue is absolutely silly. The writer Kyle Starks writes this book as absolutely nutty, possibly as can be. And the artist is Steve Pugh. It just works. It's decent art. It's absolutely crude humor, though, filled with action. It's a fun issue, though. I don't know if you're not a fan of them writing this character as completely comical nut, then you won't like it, because there's two views on this character, at least in my opinion. You have the more dark, serious tone of him, and you have the more goofy tone. So if you like the dark, serious tone, this one you're probably not going to like. But if you like the goofy, stupid, out there tone, this hits it. This has it in spades. And for some reason, I usually don't like stuff like this very much, but this one is working for me. I'm enjoying it. And another DC book that I read was Shazam #3. You know, I'm not a big fan of calling him the captain, but it is what it is. I gave this issue a 7.6. Yeah, 162 out of 164 also liked it on League of Comics Geeks with a 4.3 rating, which means, hey, they're liking it. To Africa and beyond, the global spirit of Atlas is guiding the captain into a battle between Gargax and the Emperor of the Moon and the band of super intelligent apes who have separated from Gorilla City in a mass Brexit. Yeah, Grexit instead of exit. With Earth at stake, will Billy Batson find some way to end a war that he himself started? They're plotting behind him because they can't seem to maintain control of our captain here, and they don't like it. So they're fighting for control. Mark Waid's the writer, and I think he's doing a great job on this. The story artist is Dan Mora, and I think he's doing a good job too. Fun story, good art, and I am interested in getting the next issue, and it seems like people at the League of Comics Geeks are as well. The question is, are you reading it, and what are you thinking about it? The next one, we're shifting gears now into Marvel. Yep, we're going to hit some Marvel books, and it was Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Omega #1. Whew, that is a mouthful. I gave it an 8 out of 10. 58 out of 62 liked it, though, on League of Comics Geeks with a 4 average rating. Logan and Johnny versus the Stitcher. All bad things must come to an end, but will Wolverine and Ghost Rider meet their untimely demise at the hands of the demonic force known as Stitcher? And who's the mysterious Father Pike? Well, read this and get more. I like this pairing. I like seeing Johnny and Wolverine together for some reason. I think they make a fun pair. The writer is Benjamin Percy, artist is Jeff Shaw, and I think they're doing a good job. Decent art on this book. Actually, not decent. I think it's good art, good story, and definitely good action. If you are a Ghost Rider fan or a Wolverine fan, you're probably gonna like this. It has some really good panels in there that I really enjoyed. Now, the next one is another Marvel title, Moon Knight #27. I didn't like this issue as much as some of the past ones in the series. Did, though, still manage to give it a score of a 7. We're 54 out of 58 liked it on League of Comics Geeks with a 4.1 average. The Hunt for Black Spectre. Yes, we're on the hunt for Black Spectre. Moon Knight and Hunter's Moon must chase an informant into the darkest cave of all, the human mind. But what horrors await the fist of Khonshu in the depths of the psyche? And maybe that's why I just don't tend to care stories that always dive into that. Maybe Hulk I'll give an exception to, but enough is enough sometimes. But it just didn't work for me. I'm not saying it was a bad issue. It just didn't do it for me, though. Writer Jed McKay is doing good on this title with artist Federico Sabatini, which I didn't really care for the art a whole lot in this issue. Maybe that's one of the takeaways. I thought the art could be better. As I said, it's not a bad issue. Tell me maybe where I'm wrong. Did you really enjoy this issue? Am I missing something? Because, I don't know. I just couldn't quite get into it as much, but maybe you did. And there's the books that I read. But before you leave today, I want to take a moment to say thank you to these people here. Without these people, it would not be possible to do these videos. They've helped support this channel for a very long time. I consider them producers of the channel, and they deserve to be thanked. And if you don't mind, you could help out this channel, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can hit subscribe star up or my Patreon as well, or even go down to the bar with a one-time donation and help the channel out as well. We greatly appreciated. Thank you everybody for all of your time and all the help. Please help share these videos. Let's have a conversation about these comics. If you notice, my goal isn't to hate on everything, it's to share my views and have you share your views as well. Get that old schoolyard comic book discussion back. All right, everybody, thank you for your time. I hope you all have a wonderful day because you're all amazing. And until next time, keep it frugal.